This is the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and this is the iPhone Air. And these are all the MagBak cases available for those phones. These are potentially the most overall useful cases that you can get for your iPhone. So let's jump in and take a deeper look. First up, we'll take a look at the MagBak Elite, which has been updated to have improved build quality and 50% stronger magnets. The Elite comes in two different colors, black and beige. When you buy the MagBak Elite, you do get a free screen protector included, and it's a good screen protector. What's cool too is that this box the case comes in is actually a screen protector installation tool. So let's go ahead and put one on. First up, we're gonna put our phone into the box. We're gonna grab the included wipe, cleaning cloth, and dust sticker. Time to watch a professional at work here. To start with, we wanna clean our screen just to make sure there's no finger oils on there. We're gonna grab our cloth here and just dry that all off. And then we're gonna inspect it and make sure that there's no dust on it. If there are, you can use the dust sticker to just quickly grab those away. And we're looking good at this point. So now, make sure we have this tab available to pull. And here we go. All right, there we go. Now we just want to take our cloth, make sure we massage out the bubbles, and there we go. Check that out. That is a pretty flawless installation job, if I do say so myself. And if we're getting a closer look at the screen protector here, you can see it's pretty much an edge-to-edge screen protector. Something that's really nice about the Elite case is that it's raised around the edges. So what it does is it kind of overlaps the screen protector and it removes any gap that you would have there that accumulates dust and debris. That's how I would describe it, but if that doesn't make total sense, here's a picture on the screen from their website so you can get a better understanding of what I'm trying to explain. Looking inside the case, you can see that it's lined with microfiber, which helps keep the back of your phone free from scratches. In each corner of the case are these air pockets, which help with impact protection and help to give this case its 12 feet of rated drop protection. Now here's a quick tip with putting the case on this phone. Since this ring is interchangeable and can come out, what I find to be the most helpful is to put the phone in the case, starting from the top and working your way down the bottom. That way you can avoid accidentally pushing this ring piece out while you're trying to push the top part of the phone together into the case. Here's a closer look at how this case actually overlaps with the screen protector. While this does prevent dust and debris from building up around the edges, it also protects the edge of your screen protector, which is the most vulnerable part of your screen protector. There are some things that are going to be a standout to you. One of the first might be this kickstand, which is in the case down at the bottom here. This pops out to give your phone the ability to stand up in portrait or also landscape mode. And when you're not using it, you can just pop it back down into the case. Just above it is this finger loop, which you can pull out and put your finger through to help hold on to bigger phones like the iPhone 17 Pro Max. And similar to the kickstand, when you're not using it, you can just tuck it back down into the case. What's good to know is that it doesn't interfere with any wireless charging or the ability to stick your phone on MagSafe accessories like a desk mount or a vent mount. Just to the left and the right of that finger loop are these telescoping magnets, which you can see here when I give them a slight push on the beige case. These are part of the magnetic system built into the back of this phone, which helps your phone stick to a variety of metal surfaces, though the most common one I've run into is sticking my phone to gym equipment, because when you're in a gym, one of the last places you want to put your phone is down on the ground. Not that I do this, but with this case, you could also stick your phone to gym equipment if you want to grab that quick gym selfie. Much more discreet than bringing a whole tripod to the gym. On each side of the case are these grip strips, which are a customizable part, which help give you confidence when you're holding onto your phone that you're not going to drop it super easily. All the buttons on this case are floating buttons, which have a really good click and are really responsive. Just below the side button is a camera control button. This button works really well, no issues with all the different types of input that you would put into it. Now the finger loop, the grip strips, the buttons, as well as this camera border here are all customizable parts, which can be changed out. By default, all components match the case color, but you can get up to 5 different other options, which are red, blue, light gray, purple, and olive green. Looking down at the bottom, you have what MagBak calls a pinky pillow. I also like to think of this as a pinky saver, because it definitely gives my pinky relief holding onto a bigger phone like the 17 Pro Max. This also works as a plug for your charging port to help keep debris like pocket lint and dust and other dirt out, which could be helpful if you're someone who works in the trade industry and you're around items like sawdust all the time. And then finally on the bottom, on the left and the right, are these mounting points for a lanyard. Looking at the front of the case, you have decent lip protection here to keep your screen from rubbing against surfaces. And then looking at the back, this lip is doing a decent job at giving your lenses a bit of space so that they're not rubbing against surfaces as well. So that was a more in-depth look at the Elite case in black. Now let's take a quick look at the case in its new color, beige. Here's a look at what the beige case looks like from the back. with the silver iPhone 17 Pro Max installed. Here's what the case looks like from the side. Here's a look at the left side of the case with these parts that are again interchangeable. On the right, side button and grips that can be changed out, and then your camera control button. And then here's a look at the bottom with your mounting points for lanyards, as well as that pinky pillow. And then a look from the front for anybody curious to see that. We took a look at it on the black case. Now let's look and see what all those different color combinations look like on the MagBak Elite case in beige. Here's what it looks like with red, blue, light gray, purple, and olive green. Now let's say you want those strong MagBak magnets in a slimmer case that has a little more of a simple look. If that's you, it's worth checking out the classic case. I have the clear version here, but the case also comes in black, blue, red, and purple. This case is rated for 6 feet of drop protection, which is just taller than me and should be fine for the majority of drops that you would run into. Or is it drop into? I don't know. Here's what the iPhone 17 Pro Max in silver looks like in the clear case. And then here's what the case looks like from the front. Again, this is with the MagBak Elite screen protector installed that we put on a little bit earlier. On the left are floating individual buttons that are clicky and responsive, and these can also be changed out with a 5-button color set available separately. On the right is a side button as well as a camera control button. And then down at the bottom, cutouts for your microphone, charging port, and speaker, as well as mounting points for a lanyard on both the left and the right side. This case has decent lip protection for your screen, as well as good protection here on the back for your camera lenses. This case also has the same layout of magnets on the back, which again work really well to stick your phone to things like gym equipment. There are a bunch of different other accessories available from MagBak, like this wallet for example, that can hold up to 9 cards and attach really securely to the back of your phone. Quickly looking at the magnets on the back of the wallet, you can see there's a line of them up here as well as down here. Using that layout, you could do things like use this wallet as a stand for your phone. The Elite case is also available for the iPhone Air, though it looks a little different. The Elite comes in the same 2 colors, black and beige. On the inside of the case are the same air pockets as the Elite for the 17 Pro Max, giving you that 12 feet of drop protection. Here's a look at the Elite case for the Air from the back. And then flipping it over, here's what the case looks like from the front. The feeling of this case in hand is nice and slim, which is great because you know that you're getting good protection and a bunch of practical usage out of this case in a package that isn't really that bulky. On the left side, you have floating buttons that are all clicky and responsive, and similar on the right, a side button that's clicky and responsive, and a camera control button, which like we saw on the case for the Pro Max, works really well. Down at the bottom, you have precise cutouts for your charging port and your microphones. And then on the left and the right, a mounting point for a lanyard, if that's something that you would like to use. Now here's what the arrangement of magnets looks like on this case. It is fairly similar to what it looks like on the Pro Max case, though on the Air you do have an extra bar of magnets across the top to make sure that your phone case is sticking to those metal surfaces really well. On the back, you have that same finger loop that you can pull out to use and then tuck away when you're done with it. Down at the bottom, you have your telescoping magnet, which again, I can showcase how it works here on the beige case. Now, since this phone is really slim, they have moved the kickstand up to the camera plateau area, which pulls out for viewing in portrait as well as landscape. Given where the stand is located, your phone doesn't prop totally up how it would be on the 17 Pro Max with its stand, but instead is elevated slightly on your desk so that you can see it comfortably instead of having to crane your neck over and look down at your phone. And again, when you're done using it, you can just click it down and it hides away in that camera plateau that is giving you a decent amount of protection for your camera lens. And then flipping it over, you can see that the case has a decent lip and in each corner is raised to help keep your screen from rubbing against a surface if it's placed face down and moved around. Now, like we touched on, this case is also available in a beige color with all the different components that can be changed out, just like the black case. So let's take some time here and I'll show you what all the different color combinations look like for each of the different cases. If you'd like to pick one of these cases up, I'll leave a link down in the description along with a discount code to help save you some money. I hope this has been a helpful overview of the cases available from MagBak for the iPhone Air as well as the iPhone 17 Pro series. As always, I appreciate that you've spent some time with me today. Consider subscribing and I'll see you again.